So we need to graph number 4, which means that we need Desmos. So let me go ahead and get on there. X minus 2 plus 3. Okay. And I can see that the vertex is positive 2, positive 3. Vertex is positive 2, positive 3. And how do I use Desmos to give me some more points on the graph? Anyone remember? I use the chart. How do I get to it? Click the settings. Click the chart. Okay. Positive 2, positive 3. Here's my vertex. What if I want some more values? What do I do? Use the positive ones? Okay. So I've got 1, 3.5. I don't really feel like using decimals. I'm going to use 0.4. That's a good one. So I can use this one right here. I don't like this one. It has a decimal. I'm not going to use it. Decimal, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use that one. So 0.4, negative 2.5. 0.4, negative 2.5. I'm going to use those two. But if I want to get some on the other side of the V, how do I do that? How do I get some more over here? What if I want an x value of positive 3 or an x value of positive 4? Anybody? How do I get some more values? We've got two options. We can put our cell phones away and put our earbuds away, or I can take them. Those are your two options. Okay. So if I want some more values on the table, what do I need to do? Go after the positive 2 and click what? Enter. Okay, give it some more values. Oops. Okay. So decimal, I don't like that one. I'll go to this one. I don't like that one. I'll go to this one. Okay, so I've got 4, 4. 6, 5. Okay, and we're making sure that we're never just graphing the points, right? We're always connecting the points, making an actual picture. Yeah? So that's what your V-shaped graph looks like. Hey, glad you're back. I said glad you're back.
I was gone for 3 days.
It was a little while. 3 days is. All right. Let's look at number 5. So for this one, what transformations do you guys see? Okay, reflect over X. Left 4. And what's the last one? Up 3. Okay. X-intercepts, we're going to need Desmos for that, so I'm going to go ahead and graph it. Here's Desmos. That equals negative x plus 4 plus 3. Okay, so our x-intercepts -7 and -1. I'm going to go ahead and write those down. So x-intercepts, we got -7, 0, -1, 0. Okay. For the range, I can just draw a little sketch of what the graph looks like, so I can think this through. So the range is from the bottom of the graph to the top of the graph. So what number should I put for the bottom of the graph? It's an infinity. What kind of infinity if its arrow's going down? It's a negative infinity because its arrow's going down, all right? And then the top of the graph is the vertex. And if I look at the vertex, I can see that that point, I could either see it from the equation or I could see it from Desmos, -4, 3. For the range, should I use the x-coordinate or the y-coordinate? The y-coordinate. So I'm going to use the 3, not the -4. And so my range is from bottom to top. So from -infinity to 3, bottom to top. One of those for sure gets a parenthesis. Which one for sure gets a parenthesis? The infinity always is going to get a parenthesis. Okay. Now the 3 with the range, I can put my finger on that. I can see it. It's right there. If I can see it and feel it, what is it? Bracket or parenthesis? Bracket. There it is right there. Okay. Decreasing interval. So I'm going to draw a little sketch again. Decreasing interval and increasing interval, are those x values or y values? Those are x values. Okay, so those are x values. I'm going to put my stick figure here. And if my stick figure starts walking, where is he walking downhill? Is it the left side of the graph or is it the right side of the graph? It's the right side of the graph, right, Quentin? Your face was a little shiny. Yeah. All right, so the right side of the graph is where he's going downhill. So that's the decreasing side. So what is the x value right up here? It's the vertex. What's the x value of the vertex? -4. Okay. And then we need the x value of a right arrow. The x value of a right arrow. Positive infinity or negative infinity if it's an arrow that goes to the right, positive infinity. Okay, so what numbers are on either side of the word decreasing? -4, infinity. Okay. One of those for sure gets a parenthesis. Which is it? Infinity. When the stick figure is standing here at the top, is he walking downhill? He's in between. He's in between uphill and downhill. It is not included in the answer, so we're going to put a parenthesis there. Okay, how do your brains feel about those answers at the bottom? We're good? Okay, so we're going to put that away. We're going to keep that. For those of you who did not like your quiz scores, at some point, I'll probably give you a warm-up that I will not to go over with you, and I will give you a chance to turn it in to increase your quiz score. Okay? For those of you who did not like your quiz scores, I will probably give you a chance to turn in a warm-up to increase a quiz score at some point. So keep paying attention and participating in the warm-ups because at some point you'll be able to use these to get those quiz scores higher. What's another chance that you have to increase your quiz score? Anyone remember where the other chance is to increase a quiz score? You don't even have to do anything. It's just automatic. You're not big, your test score. If your test score is higher than your quiz score, I automatically replace your quiz score with your test score. You don't have to ask me to do that, I just do that. Okay? So you have multiple chances to increase your quiz score just by participating in class and learning how to do stuff. Okay? All right. Go ahead and get out your notes from Friday. So we were learning how to solve absolute value equations. And today we're going to do more of that. There are not notes that we use to like fill out. We were just doing it on notebook paper. Yeah. So go ahead and get out your notes. We're going to add to them. Now, over the weekend, you had 8 problems. You had 1 through 8. You were supposed to finish 1 through 8, get those all done over the weekend. We are adding to our notes from Friday, absolute value equations. We're just making sure we still understand it. They'd say solving absolute value equations or absolute value equations, something like that. Solving absolute value equations. Yep. So you can add to those same notes, or you can get a new sheet of paper. Now, we had a worksheet. The worksheet looked like this. This is kind of what it looked like. We did the first 8 problems. I told you to save the worksheet, that we were going to keep working on it, and I ended up making you guys a different one. So 1 through 8 is regular credit. If you want to keep that worksheet and do some more problems on it, the rest of the problems are going to become extra credit. But the rest of the problems are a little bit more difficult than I wanted. So if you want to do the other ones, you can, but I ended up making a different worksheet where the problems did not get as difficult. Okay, so 1 through 8, you should have done over the weekend, and then we're actually going to be done with that worksheet now. So if you want to save it to do some extra credit problems, you can, but if you're ready to turn it in, we can also turn it in. Okay? All right. There's probably copies over there. You guys are the middle. Yes, you guys are the middle pile. Yeah. We're not switching gears from Friday. We're literally doing the exact same thing we did on Friday. Lily, go ahead and put that away so we're not doing 2 things at once, so we're not getting confused. You ready? Yes. Okay. So here's the... Huh?
Do you have any extras?
I'll find them for you guys. You missed it. All right. So here's the first one we're going to do just to make sure that we still remember what we did on Friday. Absolute value of x plus 5 equals 13. So when you get to the point in solving the equation where the absolute value is alone, then you can split it into 2 equations. So we're going to say one possibility is that what was inside of here had a distance of 13 spaces away from 0. And the other possibility was that it had a distance of 13 spaces away from 0, but it like went to the left. So it did like negative 13, or it went the opposite direction, but it was still a distance of 13 spaces away from 0. So it could have equaled positive 13, it could have equaled negative 13, but either way, it was still a distance of 13 spaces away from 0. Those are our 2 options. So if we're going to solve either of these equations for x, how are we going to solve them? We're going to subtract 5. So x, I'm going to take away 5 from the left side. I'm going to take away 5 from the right side. I'm going to take away 5 from the left side. I'm going to take away 5 from the right side. X equals 8, negative 18. So if I have 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, which is a distance of 13 spaces away from 0. Negative 18, negative 18 plus 5 is negative 13. Negative 13 is also a distance of 13 spaces away from 0. So both of those numbers work. Okay. There's our answers. We got 2 of them. Let's go ahead and try another problem. So this one is 3 minus 6r equals 51. Mm-hmm. So at this point, we don't need any Chromebooks out. Earbuds should all be off. Cell phones should be away. So Addison, I need you to put your Chromebook away. Chris, I need you to put your Chromebook away. Selena, I need your headphones out, earbuds out. There's no reason to have them. Take them out. Quentin, can you close your Chromebook for me? Thank you, sir. All right. So we have two options. The inside could have equaled 51, which is a distance of 51 spaces from 0, or the inside could have equaled negative 51, which is also a distance of 51 spaces from 0. Those are our two options. And the reason that we know that we were ready to look at our two options now is because the absolute value sign equals a number. Whenever you get to that point, you're just ready to go. So what is the first thing we should do? Subtract the 3. We have a positive 3, and then we have the r's. So we're going to wait for the r's second. We're going to subtract the positive 3 over to the other side first thing. So negative 6r equals 48. And on this one, we have negative 6r equals negative 54, right, Eddie? Yeah. You're writing it down? You don't have a piece of notebook paper? You couldn't borrow one from a friend? Eddie, I'm so upset. I'm doing my double chin face in your direction. This is how I feel, Eddie. Do you see it? Eddie, do you see it? Do you see it, Eddie? All right, what do I do next? Divide by negative 6. Okay, so the first answer we get is negative 8. The second answer we get is positive 9. Okay. Okay, are we remembering that from Friday? Oh, Destiny, I'm about to take that phone and chuck it. Out the window. And then I'll go outside, grab it, check it back in the window. Come back inside, check it out the window. All right, I'm going to give you guys an assignment and let you practice the problems like this first, because we got some time. No, we're going to do some more that have one more step to them, but I'm just making sure we remember Friday. So we're going to start with problems 1 through 4. 1 through 4 is what we're... So let's be careful about number 4, because look at number 4. Did it trick you? What do you guys see about number 4? Absolute value equals a negative distance. Can you equal a negative distance? No. So if you have an absolute value equals a negative distance, what are you supposed to say? No solution. So for number 4, I shouldn't see any work. For number 4, I should just see no solution. Take your, nope, put it in prison. I don't ever just accidentally take a snap.
No,
Nope, put it over here. No, put it over here. All right, let's do some more problems. Make sure that we understand some of the other ones that have some more steps. All right, here's another kind. So let's try, let's do absolute value of n minus 6 minus 8 equals negative 4. So this one adds a little bit. because we're not ready to do the two different equations right from the beginning. The absolute value signs are not alone. So this type of problem requires that you do a little bit of work before you're able to do your two separate equations. So if you look at this problem, it's got the absolute value signs, but then it's subtracting 8. So how do we get rid of that subtracting 8 part? We got to add 8 to the other side. Add 8 to the other side. Okay, so I have the absolute value of n minus 6, and that equals what? Equals positive 4. So now I'm going to say the stuff in here is a distance of 4 spaces away from 0. Does that make sense? This is a distance of 4 spaces away from 0. So if that makes sense, that means I can do the two options. I can say that n minus 6 must have equaled a positive 4. N minus 6 must have equaled a negative 4. Negative 4. And I can go through and actually solve for my two different answers. So I'll go ahead and add 6 to the other side. I'll go ahead and add 6 to the other side. And what are my two solutions? 10 and 2. Okay, let's try this one. Let's say 3 times the absolute value of negative 2a equals 64. Three times the absolute value of negative 2a equals 64. Do you subtract 3? So what's happening right now? It's being multiplied currently. Yeah, if it's being multiplied currently, then we want to divide both sides. Oh, and I said 64. I meant 63. Can I switch that, or will that be confusing for you guys? I can switch it. So I'm switching it to make it so it's not a decimal when we divide it. So it'll be a nicer number. Let's do 63. Yeah, it'll be a nicer number if we do 63 instead of 64. Okay. So we'll start off, we'll divide by 3. And so now we have negative 2a equals, and what happens if you do 63 divided by 3? 21. Okay? So now we're at the point where we have an absolute value, we have a number. So the absolute value means that the distance of this to something is a distance of 21 spaces. Whatever this number is, the distance between that and 0 is a distance of 21 spaces. Does that make sense? Can you have a distance of 21? Yeah. So I'm going to say that negative 2a could have equaled positive 21, and it made a distance of 21, or negative 2a could have equaled negative 21, and it made a distance of 21. Either one of those situations could have been true. Okay? So now, what do I need to do to solve this problem? Divide by negative 2. And you can either leave these answers as fractions, and the fraction is fine, or you can do decimals. These are really nice decimals if you divide them. So fractions or decimals are fine for this problem. So if you were to leave this as a fraction, I would say negative 21 over 2. If you were to do a decimal, what would you get? negative 10.5, okay? And then the other one, negative over negative is positive 21 over 2, or positive 10.5 if you wanted to go the decimal route. Okay, so for the next set of problems that you guys do on the worksheet, there is one step you have to do first before you get inside the absolute value. One step you have to do first before you can break it into two equations. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on those. For these problems, you can go all the way to, that's the rest of the worksheet actually. So we're just going to work as long as we want. We'll work for another 20 minutes or so and see how far we get, and then I'll let you guys know how many problems we want to get to before tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to work till the end of the period, and then I'll check in with you guys and I'll let you guys know what the homework assignment is.